While Prime Minister Anthony Albanese is at the Vatican for Pope Leo's inaugural Mass, say a prayer for the Liberal Party. Having been crucified at the last federal election, they're now in the process of trying to work out what, if anything, they stand for. Here's Senior Liberal Senator Anne Ruston on the ABC this morning.
I think right now the most important thing for us to do as the Liberal Party and as a coalition for that matter is to sit down and analyse every single contributing factor to our electoral loss. So it serves no purpose to say we're going to count this in today or that not in today. I think Susan's quite right in saying, you know, nothing's been abandoned, nothing's been adopted. Let's actually look at everything.
So if nothing is abandoned, then if nothing is adopted, then right now the Liberal Party's position on everything would seem to be nothing. Do they still believe in net zero? No idea. What about nuclear? Not sure. Do they still want to slash immigration? Well, it's all Greek to me.
So if the net zero commitment from the Morrison era is now open for review, I'm just wondering what else is. Around the same time, the Morrison government signed Australia up to AUKUS. Is that under review?
Well, Susan made it very, very clear that we are going back to basics on everything. But I'm sure,
including
David, there will be many, many policy positions that we took to the last election that have been adopted unilaterally across our parties that will continue.
So Senator Ruston says she's sure the Liberals will still believe in many of the things they used to believe in. She just can't say which of what they used to believe they might still believe when they're through reviewing their beliefs. Can you believe it? Senator Ruston, who was the shadow health spokesperson under Peter Dutton, was asked if the Liberal Party would stand by the health policies she was espousing just a few weeks ago.
Well, look, as I said, I'm not going to rule in, rule out.
No idea. The most definitive statement the ABC could get on health from the former health spokesperson was this.
Your support for those bulk billing incentives and other measures that Labor announced during the election campaign, are they all now up in the air as well?
Well, look, obviously the first thing I want to see in the health policy area is that the Labor Party actually delivers on what it's promised, because Australians are doing it really tough when it comes to health. I mean, it's never been harder or more expensive to see a doctor. And so I really wish the Labor Party well in making sure that their policies are implemented so Australians can afford to go and see a doctor.
I nearly choked on my cornflakes watching that this morning. The only definitive Liberal Party position right now seems to be that the Liberal Party wishes the Labor Party well in implementing Labor Party policies. I can almost hear Anthony Albanese shouting hallelujah from the Vatican. There was one issue, however, on which Senator Ruston was prepared to take a stand.
Some of your Liberal colleagues and National colleagues want to change abortion laws in Australia. Your South Australian Senate colleague Alex Antic and the Nationals' Matt Canavan co-sponsored a bill in the last Parliament. Is that now under review as well, your position on abortion?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, the issue of abortion is something that's well and truly in the domain of the states and territories, and it should stay there. But my understanding is that there is no proposal before to make any changes in relation to the small amount of responsibility that the federal parliament has for this issue.